Hey quilters, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. Thanks so much for joining us today. Okay, so I was sick and Erica came to help, and Emily's busy, so Leslie is filling in for Erica, but she didn't want to get sick, so she's joining us via Zoom.
No, Emily.
Leslie didn't want to.
Filling in for Emily.
Yes, but Leslie didn't want to get sick, so Leslie's at home. I don't know where everybody is. We're glad you're here.
We are.
And there's so many of us here for the last show of the week, of the year. All right, where is everyone watching
Not quite.
from?
We've got night shows.
Oh, yes. Yes, this is true. Okay.
Been busy.
Sharon from Ohio is here, and Linda from Canada is here.
Oh, we saw somebody
Canada.
from Normandy, France.
Yes, earlier. Patty from Benton City, Washington. We're glad you're here. All right, quilters, today is all about the new Go Prairie Star die.
It is.
It was out of stock, Erica, and now it's back.
It's back.
So let's do a little show about it. Today we're going to show you how to cut and sew a few sections of the Go Aloha Stars wall hanging, which is behind us.
Yes.
Look how pretty that is.
It's so pretty.
Joe and I were talking before the show. You could do it in blues that would look like icicle or snowflakes.
Oh, it would. Okay, I may have to go to Go Quilt and chart that out.
Just chart that out. All right, quilters, here's this week's new projects from our countdown video. Up first is this flamingo-inspired piece by Kimberly Creations.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay, do you love the teal in it, Erica?
I do love the teal
your
in
new
it.
thing.
I do.
Did you finish your flamingo project?
I
for
did.
Miss
I got
Ella?
it to Ella. So I made this flamingo wall hanging, and she promptly laid it down and sat on it to open all the rest of her gifts. So I think
I'm
she
proud
liked
of her. Okay, next, Suzanne Marie is coming up with this quilt that she made for her sister who raises hens. So this is called
Folk art fowl.
Folk art
Yes.
fowl. I've never seen a project made with it in all the
This is
times.
just adorable.
Isn't that? I should make one for Chicken Brian, but
yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Wanda M, and she made this amazing quilt. Okay, we were trying to figure out which dye she used. It looks like clamshell, but it's not. What is that, Erica?
It's got to be clamshell.
It's got to be. Wanda, tell us in the comments.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to hear.
All right, here is my photo of the day. When people think of Nebraska, is this not what they think of?
This is totally what they think
Yeah,
of.
you
And
think-
it's a beautiful photograph.
It's a beautiful photograph.
It is.
I went to this amazing quilt retreat out in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska, in the middle of a cornfield, and it had all the things, and I got up early in the morning to walk, and that was the sunrise picture. So it's beautiful. So the question of the day is, where's your favorite place that you've ever been for a quilt retreat? So where have you been?
I have never been to a quilt retreat.
How has that happened?
I don't know. The closest I've come is my friend
so
Judy and I
Yeah.
packed up our quilting stuff and we went on a little road
Oh,
trip
yes, I remember
over
that.
to Iowa, you know, so far away.
Right.
And we went to Ames and down to Des Moines and back, and we took all of our quilting and we visited quilt shops, so it was kind of like a quilt shop quilt retreat together that we just did, the two of us.
Yeah.
That's as close as I've ever come.
Okay, and
Or sew-in days.
yes, we've done those a couple
I've
of
done sew-in days.
Celtic Quilter.
Yeah.
Do we have Leslie? There's Leslie. Hi,
Yes.
Leslie.
Hello.
Okay, have you ever been to a quilt retreat?
No, I've only been quilting for like a year and a half when everything's been shut down, so.
Okay.
That's true.
Things need to open up and then we can all go to a quilt retreat.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm down.
Definitely.
It'll be great. Okay, so be sure and download the free pattern of Aloha Stars at AccuQuilt.com. Okay, Erica, we have this amazing promo today.
Yes, we do.
So it is 30% off. Take an additional 30% off. Use the code COUNTDOWN because it's almost the new year.
Almost.
45%, up to 45% off dies and up to 55% off cutters.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so a really great way to kind of stock up. Think about cubes are included in that.
Oh, my gosh.
Strip dies are included in that.
Yeah.
All those great things.
All those things you need.
Today I'm going to give away one of our Go Prairie Star dies. Be sure and share this video in your personal Facebook page for a chance to win. And the lovely Leslie will be announcing the winner at the end of our show. I loved it. Have you made this block yet?
I have. I actually made it in testing.
Right, we did. We tested
And
this die.
I had to scissor cut it the first time.
Yeah.
And you know what I learned?
There's a die for that.
There's needs to be a die for that because it's never going to happen again by hand cutting ever.
All right, well, we're going to show you the die in just a second, but here's the block that it
So
makes. This is an amazing block. Bea Lee from Be a Quilter designed this whole thing, and
It's gorgeous.
it looks really complicated, and really it's not, because the pattern works beautifully together. So this makes a 14-inch block, and then what other die makes a 14-inch block?
Why, Pam, I bet it's the bear's paw.
It is the bear's paw. Okay, so if you're thinking of, oh, which dice work together, and then we also have a 7-inch
We have a 7-inch drunkard's
path, right? So all of those would kind
All
of
of
work
those.
together for your Aloha
Get some
stars.
really fun effects with that drunkard's path. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. See, in our quilting heads, we stand here and we think of stuff, and then we have a
right,
day job.
right.
Okay, you want to grab our dice so
I
we
will.
can show folks
I will.
what
So
it's
let's
all
take a
about?
look. This is it's a block on board,
Yep.
and you've already got some fabric. So let's pull
We'll move the fabric off.
so that we can take a look at
Yep.
it.
And do you want to hold it
Yep,
up here?
I will.
For
I
Mr.
will. I will. I will.
See, we're normally on other sides.
This is
Holy
very
smokes.
confusing for us. This is very confusing.
Okay,
for us.
so it is a block and board die,
Yes.
which means all the pieces you need to complete the block are on one die board. So Erica, we're going to get this question all day long.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and the question is,
Can I make this with my cube?
and what's the answer?
No.
You can't.
Because this shape is a diamond.
Right.
Okay. The shape that you're thinking of that comes in your cube is a parallelogram,
Right.
and they are not the same.
No, I say this all the time. All diamonds are parallelograms, not all parallelograms are diamonds.
True.
Okay, so, but we cut off the 1/4-inch seam, and always make sure that you're sewing a perfect 1/4-inch seam with those dog ears.
Right.
So this is so that you can cut multiple shapes of shape A. We're going to show
Right.
you how to do that.
Yep.
And then C and B.
Right. So these are the corners and the side pieces.
Yeah. Gentle
simple.
Y seams, we're going to show you how to do it.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
Don't be afraid.
Okay?
All right. Shall we cut some?
Yeah.
All right.
So this pattern requires 8 gradient colors, okay? So I have, yep, you can put that right there.
I will.
The most important thing is to keep track of your colors.
You know, that's true.
Okay?
Yes.
And you're gonna need a total, I counted, to make your block, you're gonna need a total of 36 diamonds to make your block. So I wanna talk about this for just 1 second, okay? So this is color number 1, color number 2, 3, and 4. And then it moves down. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth, okay?
Right.
So this right here eventually will become the center.
Right.
So all of the tips have all 8 colors, and the center
Centers has-
star has 8 colors.
And we have a high-tech way of keeping track of
We're
those
going to
pieces.
show you.
Yeah.
We're going to show you. Okay? All right. So today we're just going to cut these 3 colors because we can cut 6 layers.
Right.
So we're just going to lay them right over here.
Okay.
Okay? And then it's only going to cut where there's fabric and a mat, so Erica's going to put a mat on for us.
Yeah.
All right? Now, join Erica and I tonight. I forget the
Yes, because if you haven't had enough of us.
Yes.
Right?
Tonight at 8 p.m. for a special show called Stories of American Quilts.
Yes, it's the Museum of Fine Arts Boston.
Yes.
And it's a fabulous show.
And
don't miss it.
Brandy Masklowski
Yes.
is our host for the night.
Yes.
It's truly going to be you and I looking at quilts, Brandy
Yes.
telling us, people
Yes.
watching, sit back, relax, enjoy. It's going to be fabulous.
Yeah. Pour some cocoa, pop
Yes.
some popcorn.
But you do want to register so that you're entered to win our Let It Sew sweepstakes.
That's right, absolutely.
All right, do you want to
Okay.
cut my pieces for
Yes,
me?
I will cut your pieces for you.
So today we're going to use our Go Big. Why, Erica?
Because we can.
Because we can. And our Go Big, I think, is on sale today.
It is, so we're going to use that code, right?
Right. Leslie, how much is our Go Big today, sweetie?
The Go Big is $384.99 today.
And
Yes,
it's going to
yes.
ship free if you live in the contiguous U.S. And is that Bear's Paw dye on sale? That other one?
Yeah,
that,
the Bear's Paw is $43.67 along with the Drunkard's Path. They're both
Ooh,
on sale today.
see, this is why
This
Leslie's
is why,
here.
and look, she's in a cute little box.
I know. We just love it. All right, here we go. We're going to slide, don't lift.
Yep. Zip.
Okay. Shoo. Boy, there's so much static.
It is so staticky.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I happen to know which colors these are.
Yes.
Look at this high-tech
Yeah.
way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 5. This is color
That's
5.
5. Okay.
So here, I'm going to pull back my fabric. And it was super cool because I just cut strips.
Yep.
and then just cut with the, just fan fold them back and forth.
So I don't know about you, but I think this means that Pam's making some more of these when she gets home.
Yes. I know. Did you not cut stuff yesterday so you could make blocks of something?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, see, look, this is why we
A
do
little testing going on.
a little
and-
testing going on. Listen, we have some fun
Oh my
things coming out
gosh.
in 2022.
We do. Spoiler alert, I'm not telling you anything, but boy, are you
They
going to have
always
fun.
ask.
I know, they always do.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you want to see us here again, we can't tell you.
Yeah, we like our day jobs. Okay, so that was
That's
shape
5.
5. So this is 7. I didn't cut 6 because it was already cut.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to put these here. So quilters, this is just a really great way for you to keep track of your pieces.
Yes.
Okay? And Brock has this great key. Thank you, Brock. I know. Now, this is how you're going to lay out your fabric. And this is actually on the pattern.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you to just sew one section at a time. Because if you think in your quilting head, oh, I'm going to sew more than one section, you're going to be highly disappointed.
And you know what? I tried that. I got to feeling a little bit cocky. And on my second or third time through, and I had a lot of unsewing that I had to do because I got my colors off. So
Okay, so we're going to lay this out in just a second, but I want to show you what we've already done. Okay, so I've already made half. All right.
clever girl.
Yes, because this is only an hour show. So I did do half, but you could do all 4 if you're making the project
sure.
sections at one time. Then you could just chain
Yeah.
piece, okay? And then I've made half of this one, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to lay our pieces here, and then we're going to start here with one. And I'm going to let you just recreate it. So it's super cool because you're going to just make, it's like a 9 patch. It looks complicated. It is not.
Right. All right, so
Okay?
here's 2
So
of,
here's one.
I've got 2.
Where were you when I was sewing this block the first time? Holy smokes.
At home sewing one myself.
Yes. Okay, so here we are. We're just making a 9 patch. We're just making a
I
row.
don't even call my sewing area anymore. I call it my mad scientist laboratory.
Yeah, my goal for the new year is to kind of clean up my space. Though, okay, what did we talk about UFOs
We
this
did
week?
talk about UFOs just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
And there's going to be a blog. I'm writing a blog for next week.
Yeah.
That's all about getting organized.
I did a UFO last night. I put a binding on a UFO.
So proud of you. She sent me a text. She said, I
did.
got my binding done.
I know, because that's the bane of my existence.
I'm working on a Christmas bench pillow. Why? Because this way I'm going to be way ahead for next year.
Okay.
It's not that I'm behind for this year. It's that I'm ahead for next year.
Right. See. Okay, so look what I did here, quilters.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Because the next one that we're going to build, we'll show it to you here in just a sec, is the other side. Nope, there's the one. It's okay. We'll find it here in a second.
Find it? Okay.
Okay, so now, Erica, the most important thing about this at all times is to keep track of your pieces.
Absolutely.
So what I found is if I did, oh, look, there's one. We have to make sure we put it away. Yeah, put it in. Okay. I'm going to start sewing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these 2 together, these 2 together, these 2
Okay,
together.
that makes
and then
sense.
can you press open for me?
I would love to.
All right.
Let me make sure my iron is turned on.
The guys are good about making sure that it's plugged in and turned on.
It was plugged in. I didn't
Okay,
turn it on.
so here's the question of the day.
Okay.
So why is an AccuQuilt cutter better than a rotary cutting?
Oh, ever so many reasons. But if you hand cut this one time, you would know that for sure.
Yes.
But this is a block that's typically done with foundation paper piecing a lot of
It
times
is.
too,
It
especially
is.
with this size. So think how long it would take you to do that. And foundation paper piecing is definitely a learned skill. I liken it
that's
to
a good-
sewing upside down and backwards.
Yes.
The first time that I got a foundation paper piecing project, I thought, oh, this will be quick and easy. And you know what? It
No.
wasn't.
No. All right, Miss Leslie, why I'm sewing, tell us where people have been on quilting retreats.
Well, before that, we have a few people asking some questions, Pam.
Okay.
Let me find one. Julia wants to know, do we know the size of the square and the triangle on the Prairie Star die?
Negative. Negative, Ghost Rider, but we could figure it out.
We can.
Okay.
Should I?
And then
Sure.
Janice is wondering also, Pam, why is the die labeled? We have it labeled with letters, but then you're storing it in your bags with numbers.
Because that is a great question. Because the pattern requires 8 gradient colors. So this is color number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. That's a great question. Yeah, there are only 3 letters on it, but the colors are there.
And this square, here's another reason why you can't make it with your cube. It cuts at 4 5/8.
Oh, nobody should cut that with a ruler.
So
Okay.
it cuts at 4 5/8, which is another reason why you can't make this with your cube.
Okay, what else, Leslie? Those are really good questions.
Yes.
I believe those are all the questions at the moment.
Okay, Erica's
but,
going to press our seams open.
Favorite quilt retreat. Someone said their favorite was the AccuQuilt one at Country Traditions in Fremont.
Yes, back in the day.
Yes.
We used to have them here, and then they would come here,
Yes.
and we would party with those
we
people,
would.
like
we
rock
would.
stars.
That was so fun.
It was.
That does sound fun.
Yeah, they
It
were
was
great.
so fun.
And we do not do that anymore because, I don't know, there's a pandemic.
Well, yes, and
And
Country Traditions.
Traditions is not Country Traditions
No,
anymore.
it's the Nebraska Quilt Company now.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so while Leslie, Erica's pressing, I'm going to give the code, and then Leslie will tell us where people have been on retreats.
That's going to go there.
Okay. Don't forget our promo today. Take an additional 30% off. Use the code countdown. It'll take up to 45% off dies and up to 55% off cutters. All right, Leslie, where have people been on quilt retreats?
Well, someone said that they've never been on one, but they want to go on a quilting retreat on a cruise. And I heard that there was supposed to be one in 2020 that Pam was going on.
Yes, I was going to the Caribbean. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Sorry.
I was going to the Caribbean, and we were going to do a sewing cruise. And how fun would that be, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and obviously I didn't get to go. But 7 days on a cruise, can you imagine how much fun we would have?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm
She
excited.
thought she was going without me, but I was really going to go too. So
Yeah.
actually, I was supposed to have gone to Normandy, France during the pandemic.
There, see all the places we.
All
and
the
Leslie
places we
was
didn't get
supposed
to
to go
go.
somewhere fun.
Yeah,
Where
you
were
were.
supposed to go, Leslie?
We were supposed to go on a cruise to Spain. Like through Spain, we would have stopped in like Italy and France.
Oh, all the best places.
Yeah.
All the best
Oh,
places.
the food would have been so good.
But instead, you went to South Dakota.
Yep. Instead, we went on a 56-hour road trip. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, don't forget to share, because I'm going to give away one of our Go Prairie Stars. All right, Leslie, are people telling us where they've been still on quilt retreats?
Yeah. Someone said they went to one in Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, I bet that was so fun.
Oh, yeah. There's a great place to go.
Someone said her favorite quilt retreat. Susan said her favorite quilt retreat was at, I'm going to say this wrong, Weowaka in Lake George, right on the lake.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay. The one that I went to was super fun.
I want to go
There was
to
no sleep. And the food was really good. Yeah. My good friend Larry Bain and Christina Morrow went, oh my word.
I tried to get signed up. I tried to sign up for one last fall in Utah,
Oh, yes.
but it was already sold out and we couldn't get in.
Okay, so look how we're building our block. We're just making a 9 patch.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to come right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to start at this end and make sure that we're
This is
all
where
lined
those
up.
dog ears are going to really come in handy because this is going to show you exactly how to lay those out.
It is.
Okay, I can hardly stand it. Now, Joe, you had to say that about blue, and now all I want to do is go home and figure out how to make this in shades of blue.
8 gradient colors.
8 gradient colors.
And I did a great thing, and I just called the fabric store and said, hey, find me 8 gradient colors that look like this.
Hey, I'm not
They
saying
did.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, it was great.
But I
Okay.
could have like light blue through my teals.
See, already you're thinking about it.
Already. This is what happens every time we're here.
I know. Okay, so look.
Look.
It works just great.
It
In
does.
fact, we have enough. Let's do one more row. After I sew
Okay.
this, I'll let you iron. I knew there was a
Let
word.
me press for her.
I know, isn't that nice?
Isn't that sweet, quilters?
Yeah, just let me press.
Let me press.
All right, so Leslie, think of some good deals to use with our promo today. What do you have in
Well, the
mind?
4-inch cube, I think is a good deal today. It's only $136.49 and great for scrap busting, which we'll be talking all about next year.
Yes, in
I
January.
love the 4-inch cube. It's my favorite.
It is her favorite. That's
And then
great.
also
And all
the
the
lock
cubes are on
cabinet.
sale, right? All the cubes are on sale.
Yes, so any of them similarly priced to the 4-inch cube will be that $136.49.
Oh, and the companions? You
Oh,
totally
hey,
need
we
the
lost
cube.
our light. It's okay.
Putting me in the dark. That's what we call our 10-year light.
Yes.
Supposed to make us look 10 years younger.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so while Erica lays that one out, let's lay out the next one. And we're gonna do just the same thing. We're gonna start here with color number 2 and then go to 3 and 4 and 5. I love it when we use numbers. All right.
Now, if you were doing a different arrangement of this,
Oh, on the pattern, there's a completely
you know,
different arrangement.
there's all different patterns using this. So you're not stuck with having to, you don't have to use 8 gradient colors, right?
No.
You could
No,
lay
you-
it out however you wanted to, and we've got
Right.
all kinds of different patterns. We just
do.
happen to really like this one.
We do, and you're exactly right. And a great, you know, you were talking about this the other day of, you know, take your test blocks and make a quilt, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at us knowing how to count. Okay. Hey, and don't forget, all of our videos live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channels. So if you forget what we're talking about here,
You've got 2 there.
yeah, thank you. If you forget what we're talking about,
You can go watch it again.
yes, you can. Okay.
Okay, so that's,
Yep.
which number is that?
That's 4. Yeah, will you
Okay,
finish
see.
building for me?
So here's 5.
Yep. And we'll need 6 and 7. When
And this is why you keep track. Look how close these are in color.
Yeah. When I was doing this, the lovely Oakley said, Lola, can I help? And I said, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
touch
Okay, while I'm sewing these together, you want to tell us everybody about our blog?
Oh, I would love to. So, did you know we have a blog? We do, and I write lots of articles for it along with the rest of the team. Our blog is a place to find inspiration, tutorials, patterns, sewing tips, more ways to use your your dyes, more ways to love your fabric cutter. You can meet our go-getters. Those are our influencers who work with our product and come up with a ton of great ideas. You get to know the team really behind the brand. You get to join the conversation, and the community is always talking about what we're doing. And
What's on the blog this week? Do we know?
this week seems so long ago. I'm working on next week. So
Oh,
I know next week we're going to have one on our new dye to try, because next
is
Tuesday, don't miss it, we have our first dye to try of 2022 coming out. And then
great.
Thursday, it's going to be all about getting organized. And I'm going to do some personal research on that by trying to organize my space, because it looks like a bomb went off.
there you go. All right, well, Erica Irons, be sure and join Erica and I tonight and tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time for a special 2-part series called Stories of the American Quilts. We'll be joined by special guest Brandy Muskowski, the quilter on fire. She has a great backstory.
She does.
She is just-
don't miss it,
yeah,
guys.
it's
It's just
just-
so fun.
And they're featuring the Fabric of a Nation exhibit at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. So it's really, truly just a sit back and relax.
This one,
Yeah, see? Sit back and relax, watch our show.
yep.
But be sure to win, because this is the end of our Let It
So
Sew.
let it so sweepstakes.
All right, Leslie, while Erica is ironing, look at me talking to 2 of you at one time.
I know.
My
She's
word.
so talented.
My word. Okay, tell us where people have been on quilt retreats, because I'm super excited about this.
Yeah.
Well, April signed up for a quilting cruise to Hawaii next fall.
April, that's
Never been to Hawaii either.
It's the one state I've not been to. We have this
well,
conversation.
clearly we know Pam and I should be on that retreat.
Yeah, we
What
should
else have we
totally.
got? I'm
There you
so
go.
jealous.
Someone says they've been to Moab, Utah, and Dolores, Colorado on retreats.
Moab, Utah, hands down the most beautiful place in the United States. I love it there.
I was going to say that's all Pam needed to hear.
Oh my gosh, Moab.
What else?
Chris has gone to a retreat in Indiana, and they got lots of quilts finished there.
I
That
stayed at
would
a
be really nice to get, the thought of getting things finished.
Yeah.
I mean, getting started is fun, but getting finished kind of, I don't know, that speaks to me.
I know. There's a concept.
Julie went to a quilt retreat in Gladwin, Michigan with a group of 40. Never had so much fun in her life and met amazing people.
Oh my
40
gosh.
people. We would have so much fun
We
with
would
40
have
people.
so much fun.
The last one I went to, I think, had 12.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Most of the days, like when I go to my local quilt shop and do a sewing day, it's anywhere from about 14 to 20 or so.
Yeah, we went the other day.
Yeah, it was fun. It's
We
fun.
say that the other day. I don't even know what month it was, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was
Was
it
it
in October?
maybe? It seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, just the other one.
That seems about right.
Okay, so we're going to show you, now that we've sewn these two sections together, how to do gentle Y seams. Now, Eric and I, we have done many
A Y seam.
many a Y seam and many a video on how
Yes.
to make said Y seams.
And those videos, you can find them on Facebook, on YouTube,
All the places.
our website.
Are they on our website?
Aren't they?
Yeah. Okay, I am not the person to ask where stuff is.
There's a great section on our website. So across the top, there's a learn. There's a learned category, and
Oh.
it links you to all kinds of cool stuff. If you haven't gone in and played around in there, that's a great place to visit on our website.
And we have, hang on, I got to sew this last one.
Oh, okay.
Dyes are dropping, guys. Our new gallery with Porphyria.
Porphyria.
Yeah, Leslie, do you want to talk
Beautiful.
about that?
Yeah, so that was actually the blog on Tuesday.
See?
So we have a quilt gallery in our office and we switch out the quilts quarterly. Porphyria Gomez is one of our go-getters, and so we have her quilts currently featured in our office. Pam did a great interview with her,
Thank
chatted
you.
about her quilts,
Thank you.
and awesome interview. And the blog is a little bit different of an interview to learn a bit more about her.
And then tell us, Leslie, she has a charity thing that you can make. What's that called?
She has a quilt coming out, a new pattern coming out in
There we go.
January. I think it's her collaboration quilt.
Yes.
And then they'll be doing a quilt along for that in February. We will be hopefully working with her to see what dyes work for her to create that quilt.
Yes.
So we can help them make it more AccuQuilt friendly for our customers. And then she also has a Color of Connection quilt that
Yes.
they also
Yes.
did
And
earlier
that is
last
here
year.
in the gallery.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's beautiful. Okay, so look, quilters,
Look at this.
look how fast. And we talked.
We did.
Okay, but again, you could do all 4 sections of this section and all 4 of these sections.
Yeah.
Now, Erica, you're gonna pin, I need you to be excited about this. Will you mark here, because we're gonna we need a little Y seam here.
Yep.
So let's just talk about, here, we'll move it down so you can,
Yep.
do you wanna talk about the
You've got all the
elements?
stuff.
I got all the stuff here, right
Oh,
here.
here, I took your ruler, though.
Yeah,
to
here's
measure.
the pin.
Okay.
Okay.
So Y seams are so easy. You don't need to be scared about them.
Don't
But
be
it's
scared.
all about taking the time to mark your seams.
Right.
So when you're doing a Y seam, it's another way of saying an inset seam. So we're going to sew these 2 pieces together, and we're going to stop at a 1/4 inch. So we need to mark that 1/4 inch spot right down here. Now the reason we're leaving it at a 1/4 inch is so that we have our seam allowance open to sew this piece in. So it's an inset seam. We call it a Y seam because it makes a Y.
Yeah.
So
Super
I'm going to
cute.
mark that for you.
Thank you, appreciate that. And again, we made tons of videos on how to
We
do
did,
this.
we did.
I'm
It's-
going to tell you the best thing to do is just practice. Just practice sewing Y seams. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that.
And use a water soluble marker.
We have them on our
We
website,
have them on our website. We
along
do.
with our mat and our shovel iron.
And I kind of like to do an X because that way I know I've got like X marks the spot.
Yeah.
So I'll do a 1/4 inch either way. And then I really know for sure I've got my mark.
Okay. So can you all see that?
I tried to make it really big. This is a great water-soluble marker. This is the thick one. I usually use the thin one, but we use the thick so you could really see it.
Yeah.
So we sell these on the website. They're really good. Don't think you can eyeball it.
Oh, please
It's not
don't.
going to get the same results.
Might I have a pin?
You might. You might have more than one. Here, we got the Valentine's Day one out.
Oh,
We're already
yes.
moving on.
We are. Because next to Halloween, Valentine's Day is my
Valentine's
jam.
Day is her jam.
Oh, I do love it. Okay. Leslie, do you love Valentine's Day as much as I do?
No, not really. It's not on the top of my list. It's a good holiday, but it's not like the top of my list. It's
no.
probably in the middle.
Not
I'm like
so much.
Halloween and
I'm with
Christmas.
you. But
love
you know
it.
what? I love red. I like decorating, so
It's all good.
Yeah, I
it's
like the
fun.
pink. The
It's fun
hearts.
with the kids. It's fun to make heart sugar cookies, and
Yeah.
and they get so excited about parties at school. And John Robert and Oakley are just at that age where, you know, the school parties are so fun.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to sew to Erica's X, and then I'm going to stop,
You know
and
what
I'm
you-
going to backstitch.
Exactly. You want to backstitch, and the reason is you want that nice and tight.
Well,
because
actually, I'm not going to do anything because
Did you have
my thread broke.
an oopsie?
It's okay. This is like real life.
Yeah, it happens.
Yep. All right.
So we'll just talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
while she
Leslie, tell
threads
us where
the
people have
machine.
been on quilt retreats.
I actually have a few questions.
Oh, good.
people
We have
are Very
answers.
curious about our tiny iron. They say, Susan asks, why do you use such a tiny iron when you need to press the larger section? It looks like it doesn't look like it gets flat.
You know, it gets flat for our purposes. Now, when we're done with a section or a block, I think Pam and I both will use a large iron to press that out.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing: if we look really carefully, maybe if I hold my hand up behind it, you can see.
Ooh, don't burn your finger.
I know I'm holding it up behind it so you can see, but it's got that little tip on it. Okay, that little point. There we go, and that point is there we go. Really helpful to get in with those little seams. And these are pretty small pieces. So if you're, you know, if you're working with 6-inch tumblers or big pieces
Yeah.
like that, a big iron may work. I really like using this little clover iron, just especially when I'm doing small pieces, small seams like that. And then I'll graduate up with my irons. That's
Yeah, it's
a great
just
question.
really easy to push those seams open.
Yeah, see how little these pieces are?
Bitty.
It just helps you press them open.
All right. What else, Miss Leslie?
Marcy's wondering, what foot are we using? That's just our walking foot, right?
This is actually a 1/4-inch foot, but it's
Okay.
on a faff.
Okay, so actually, it's not my 1/4-inch foot
Oh,
because
using your 1/4-inch foot.
okay, I know I get so much static about it. Okay, here's the reason why. Last
Where's
night
the 1/4-inch foot?
in here, and I forgot to change it out, but I can find a 1/4-inch here. I know right where it is. But yeah, it has a 1/4-inch. But you want to engage the walking foot in the back.
So this happens to be a faff machine, and it does have a foot that acts like a walking foot that's on the back of it. It's called an IDT, I think.
Yes.
And our Pam didn't used to always engage that when she was doing it, and you really are supposed to engage it when you do pretty much anything on your machine. And our local faff dealer, Drew, thank you, Drew, said, "Will you please tell?" When I was at the store, would you please tell Pam that she needs to engage her IDT when she is sewing?
Yeah.
So,
So Drew, who's never watched an AQ Live before, that was his one comment.
that was his one comment.
Okay.
Hence, we are engaged, Drew.
We are. Leslie, do you have any more questions before I show them how to do this?
Yes, so Donna has a question about the markers. So if you're using
Okay.
the water solve marker, don't you have to wash it off before you can iron it?
This one actually, I think, just fades.
Yeah.
I use steam when I press,
Mm-hmm.
which helps dissolve that. Will you mark this for me?
Yes. Oh, you would like this one marked too? Well,
I know all the pieces
all the
marked.
pieces marked.
Okay, but yeah, that's a good question. I think that it just fades because in the past, have you not done this, where you've marked it and then it's not there, like 3 days later? You're like, oh,
Oh, darn.
I should have probably done that the right way.
I should have done that, yeah. I should have done that the right way. I usually use a much smaller ruler.
A
than
much
this.
smaller ruler. Oh, hello.
There's X marks the spot.
Okay. All right. So,
And I've never had a problem with a water-soluble not coming out, even if I've ironed it.
yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to put right sides together, and then I'm going to come to this point, and I'm not going to lift up my presser foot. I'm just going to come here. I'm going to sew down. I'm going to mark, and then
She shall pivot.
I shall pivot. Okay? All right.
All right.
It's so much easier to do when I'm just at home doing it myself. Just so y'all know.
It's harder to do when you're talking. It really is.
Yep.
Or when people are watching you.
All right, Leslie, do you have other questions there, sweetie?
Those were all the questions that we have so far, but I'm sure people will have more as we continue with the blog.
Sure.
All right, and then tell us where people have been on retreats.
Well, Pamela is going to a quilt retreat in February, and she's looking forward to it with her friends.
I love that.
Kathy says, how experienced do you need to be to go on retreats?
None experience.
You know, it's a great place to go as a beginner because you're going to have all kinds of people there, and they're so helpful. Quilters, we are happy, we are helpful, and you're going to find people to help you. If you're having a problem with something, it's a great place to be working on a project because you're going to look at the person that you'd never met before sitting next to you and say, hey, do you know how to sew a Y seam? And they're going to be so happy to show you.
They are. They're going to say, oh, yeah, let me show you. Okay, so now I'm going to pivot.
That was a great question. Because I think as a newbie, you might be kind of intimidated to do that. But really, you're going to learn a lot.
Okay, and the best part is, okay, I have in my glasses here, I need to figure out what I've just done here.
Did you sew over?
No, I'm good. I
usually pull it off. I usually sew down to that point.
Right, which is what I've done.
Pull it off.
Right.
And then reposition.
Yeah.
Some people will just pivot, but I usually will pull it off and do it this
I'm going to
way.
pull it off and
It just works better for me.
It does.
See, she was feeling all spunky. You know
was.
what happens when you start to feel, like you know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
oh yeah. Then stuff like this happens. You go, oh my goodness. And the Leslie, I'm thinking of like when I went to my very first quilt retreat was just a couple of years ago. I went with some friends to Kansas City, and two things really important. There is much eating, which is the best part.
Much eating.
Much eating. But it was so cool to see all the different things that people were working on.
It really is, yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, you're working on this, or maybe
sewing
you're a
day,
modern quilter, or maybe
all different people, all different styles.
yeah, they were really fun. Oh, I do get good points for making a Y seam.
You do
Okay.
make a mean Y seam. There we go.
All right, so see, it wasn't hard. I would tell you to take it out. It's easier for me. Now, whoever asked about our shovel iron, yes, we would press that.
Yep. When we get all done with the block, we're going to press it out.
Right, okay? And then you're gonna sew these two pieces together,
Yep.
mark the Y seam, okay, right?
Yep.
And then we're gonna put in this Y seam.
Just exactly like we did the square one.
Yep, just exactly like we did on this other side. And then we're gonna mark it here and here to sew our halves together.
Yep.
Okay? So it's really a great block. Erica and I did a really, really fun video on how to make this project. But again, take your time. If it's not perfect, if it's not running together, I mean, these seams are running together pretty good right there. If it's not, you need to stop and kind of look at your 1/4 inch seam and say, this is what we're gonna do. All right, join Lynn and Erica and I on Tuesday, January 4th.
Yeah.
We're launching a new die.
We're launching our new die to try.
It's called Right on Track.
What could it be?
I do know.
Yeah, you do.
We'll be sharing our first die to try of 2022, and we're going to be joined by special experts Barbara and Mary Ann to reveal the new die. Make sure you register for the show on our events page. So, Erica, do you want to just real quick tell our viewers, in case they don't know if they're new, what's a die to try?
Okay, so a die to try is where we come out with a limited number of dies the first Tuesday of every month. And they're only available at AccuQuilt.com. It's just a limited number, and it's kind of a trial program, isn't it? It gives us a chance to try out some new things. It gives us a chance to get your feedback and see what you like the most.
Right.
And then sometimes our quilters raise the roof and vote for those dies to come back and become permanent members of the team.
Right.
But when they come back, then they're available to purchase on all of our retail channels.
Yep, There we go. All right, so Died to Try. We do it the first Tuesday of every month. We'll continue in 2022.
That's right. We've got
What was your
really
favorite Die
fun
to
plans.
Try of 2020?
Gosh,
what
that is
year?
really
2021.
hard. You know, we kicked it off with the flamingo, and I really, really love that flamingo.
Yeah.
And I used it for a project for a Christmas present.
Yeah.
So that was a really good one.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
This one is top 5
Yeah.
of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really great. And we've had so many, right? I can't even in my
have.
head think
We
of which
have.
ones we've done. I can look over there and see.
Oh.
Yeah, right, because they're all on the wall.
Are they?
But so think about that. I mean, I just love the fact that
Yes.
every month we're releasing new dies.
We're coming out with fun new dies. Oh, the schoolhouse. We've had so much
Yep.
fun with this Peace Schoolhouse.
Yep. All right, quilters, don't forget today is our New Year's gift to you. Take an additional 30% off. Use that code COUNTDOWN, all one word. It'll take up to 45% off dies and up to 55% off cutters. All right, Leslie, do you have a winner for our Go? What is this?
Prairie Star.
Prairie Star die.
I do. The winner is Pamela. Oh, no, drum roll.
There you go.
Okay. Pamela Tinkle from Dyersburg, Tennessee.
Congrats. Is this the same
congratulations.
Pamela that's going on a cruise?
Oh, I don't know.
Pamela, lucky you if you're
Pamela.
going on a cruise and getting that.
Now, I know they're picky about your weight for your bag, so cut it all out ahead of time and take
Yeah, take it all
like
with
we
you.
did. Put it in your Ziplocs.
All right, join us next week in the new year as we start the new year off right with a fun project made with our Go Schoolhouse and our Go Log Cabin dies. And Leslie, those are both on sale, isn't that right? Isn't that what you were saying?
The log cabin is on sale for $65.51,
That's
and the
great.
schoolhouse still has introductory pricing at $89.99.
Perfect,
So
perfect.
pick them up now because this project is so fun.
Right, and any other good sales before we leave, Leslie, for today that end at midnight?
Yeah, so the strip dies you need to finish up this project. The 2.5 inch is only $54.59.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the 1.5 inch is only $60.05.
Oh, get that one for sure. I use that one so
I use
much.
1.5 all the time.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yes.
Anything else? No.
Cutters, if you're looking to
Cutters?
upgrade on your cutter too, would be
Cutters.
the perfect time to get one.
If you haven't gone big yet,
Yep.
now's your time.
If you're new to AccuQuilt, think about that. Ready, set, go.
Yeah.
All right, Leslie, do you have big plans for the new year?
Sit at home and watch movies probably.
It's going to be cold and snowy in Nebraska.
It is.
So
It is.
it'll be great.
I'm sewing.
All right.
Are you sewing?
I am, for sure. All right, on behalf of our entire crew, so thanks to Leslie for filling in for Emily.
Yes.
And Erica filling in for me, but I'm here. Morgan is off-site doing her Morgan thing. And Brock and Joe and Justin are here in the studio with me. On behalf of all of us, we wish you a happy new year. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.